Hello everyone, and after our presentation, we can have lunch. So, keep focus. And today, in our group is group 9, and we are talking about NVIDIA, and we will focus on future outlook and some risk, potential issues. So this is our agenda today. I know you are all really know what is NVIDIA, Jason Huang, so we just introduce really briefly. And then we'll talk some strategy, how to be an international business. And also future outlook for some future application. And then in my part, I'll talk about risk and solution, some potential issue. So I'll pass mic to Tina.
I'll talk about the overview of NVIDIA. NVIDIA was founded in 1993 by Jason Huang in Santa Clara, California. It's a US-based fabless semiconductor company. At first, NVIDIA was known as a GPU company, but today, NVIDIA has changed a lot. It's no longer just a graphic company. And NVIDIA has transformed into a global AI infrastructure company. The key point, the full-stack approach and CUDA ecosystem. They design hardware and software together, and CUDA helps developers and companies build and scale AI more easily. This makes NVIDIA different from other companies. And this strategic change also shows in the numbers. Today, the data center business has become the core of NVIDIA revenue. And NVIDIA has 4 business segments. Data center is the largest and fastest growing segment. Gaming remains a stable revenue source with strong brand loyalty. And professional visualization supports industrial digital twin and simulation. And automotive focused on autonomous driving platforms such as NVIDIA Drive. Next, we will move on to global presence and international business part.
Okay, we first look at the technology shift. So what's the difference between traditional IT and NVIDIA? First, a traditional CPU process takes sequentially, which is inefficient for AI low workload. And NVIDIA's GPU use massive parallel processing, allowing them to reduce time and energy costs. And architecturally, traditional chips works like separate workers pressing files back and forth, which slow everything down. And NVIDIA, they design many GPU to work as a one coordinate system. Now let's look at the revenue distribution in 2024. You might notice the high figure of Taiwan and Singapore, but these are mainly reflect due to location related to supply chain and logistics. The underlying demand is driven by United States and led by the cloud hyperscaler like Microsoft and Google. And on the right side, you can see the limited revenue from China is mainly caused by US export control and advanced AI chips. And to support this kind of global demand, NVIDIA relies on strategic partnerships. On the supply side, it operates under fabless model, depending on advanced manufacturing, for example, like company TSMC. And also is high bandwidth memory supplied by company like SK Hynix. And on the demand side, NVIDIA is releasing focus on sovereign AI. It works with local partner and ecosystem players such as group in India and Japan to align with local priority and navigate local regulations. So what does NVIDIA's global influence look like? First, government now treat AI infrastructure as a technology-driven data nationalism. And second, this increased the AI army race. where the computing power become a national resource like oil or energy. And as a result, the company worldwide must invest in NVIDIA to remain competitive. And finally, how does NVIDIA defend its position? First, they use the CUDA software. This creates a high switching cost for the developer. And second, by long-term partnership and scale, NVIDIA benefit early access to advanced manufacturing capacity in TSMC. In China, NVIDIA also offers compliant products such as H20 chips to maintain limited market and under its pro control. Next, Srisha will talk about future outlook.
So we now move on the future outlook of NVIDIA. Though we have the demand is expanding and we are trying to get these technologies into our daily life, we also have negative aspects of the future outlook, which is like the harm to the environment, privacy concerns, and job loss, which we'll also talk about at the end. The first thing is the automotive AI driving. NVIDIA Drive powers the next generation intelligent vehicles, and it also supports the anonymous driving, safety systems, and digital cockpits. We have deep partnerships with Mercedes-Benz, BYD, and Hyundai. And we also have software-defined cars which improve with over-the-time updates. Normally, if you take a normal car, it will depreciate or it will deteriorate over time, the performance. But the software cars, it will auto-update itself in the future and it enhances its technologies over the time. Secondly, we have industrial metaverse. NVIDIA Omniverse enables real-time digital twins of the factories and the systems. So it connects like the physical world and the digital world, and it creates copies or twins of the system so that we can have virtual testing, robot trainings, and operational planning. It also reduces cost and time and efforts of the people. And the key thing is it builds a smarter and more adaptive industrial environment. Next, we have the data centers. Our GPUs are currently powering the AI training, the large-scale computation, and also the cloud computations. And it is all this sector is also the most fast-growing and most important revenue segment for NVIDIA. Lastly, we have the robotics. Our Jetson and Isaac platforms drive the AI-powered robots, and it gives the robot the ability to see, understand, and take decisions on its own. We're trying to get these robots in mostly all the sectors like factories, logistics, healthcare, retail, and it also is powered by virtual training environments to accelerate robot developments. And we're trying to get these robots helpful for people who are in need and other factories for more accuracy and less mistakes. Lastly, we talk about the negative aspects of this side. As a coin has two sides, we have good things and we have bad things. So we need to talk about these things, and we also have to address these issues. Firstly, we have environmental impact, where due to high energy consumption and electronic waste, and we have privacy concerns like how the data is collected, will it be misused, or there would be data leakages. And we also have some ethical and social issues to be addressed, like we have automations, and increasing automations can lead to the job loss for the low-skilled workers. And though we are looking forward to a positive and healthy and more technologically advanced future of NVIDIA, but we are committed to address this challenges responsibly. Okay, so about the risk and solution, we'll talk about the three big problems facing NVIDIA. The first one is geopolitical risk, high tax, and finally potential competitors. And we also look at how they plan to solve them. And the first big problem is geopolitical risk. Focusing on US and China, the US top H20 chip sale will cost NVIDIA $2.5 billion USD. Later they could sell again, but China is also causing problems.
they told big companies like Alibaba to stop buying NVIDIA RTX Pro 6000D chip because China wants to use its own chips, and risk is wider than just US and China. The AI chip deal in the UAE is delayed because the US is afraid the technology might go to China. Also, fighting near Taiwan could stop the chip supply chain very badly. That's why I have a summary sentence here. Geopolitical tensions hurt exports and market access. So how can NVIDIA fix these geopolitical problems? We have two main plans. First, having strong relationship between Meta, Microsoft, and Amazon gives NVIDIA a good safety cushion against certain geopolitical risks, geopolitical shocks, and the second, the old strategy of focusing only on China may not work anymore. The company needs to change how it gets chips and sells products in China and start focusing on other markets to make up the lost sales. And should CEOs Sun Chen Huang need to get this right? This is the biggest question they face. And moving to the second problem about high tax, where changes in international tax rules might lower profits, we see two big money risks. China export costs. NVIDIA must pay 15% of its A20 chip money to the US government just to get permission to sell there. And a bigger danger in the US trade to put a 100% tax on foreign chips. If it happens, the price of the chip will double, making it much more expensive to make products, cutting profits, and maybe raising GPU prices. And to solve it, NVIDIA must focus on controlling costs to balance out the tax and working with the US government to get taxes out or remove all the potential products. And finally, we have third risk about potential competitors.
Okay, my part, I'm talking about potential competitor. Focus on two major parts. One is China and one is company. China is producing really low-cost AI chips. So it's decided to have some solution. NVIDIA can provide like middle-end or low-end chips for some more affordable to the others company. And the Chinese government is provide really huge heavy subsidies. So this is really definitely another huge challenge for them. So we decided their backup plan for not rely on Chinese supply chain. So there is focus on, like in our class, we have hiring talent from abroad. So they can, like this year, they have a data center or R&D center in Taipei. And another one is the company. There are like huge company like Google, Microsoft. They are all developing in-house chips. So it's definitely a really big challenge for NVIDIA. The largest customer is also the largest competitor. So we try to figure out they can build competitor turn into partner, and also try to merge some startup company to have some defensive strategy. So to sum up, we first look at in the future we have robots needs NVIDIA and autonomous need NVIDIA, and if anyone use ChatGPT, Gemini, we need NVIDIA. So NVIDIA is the most valuable company now today, and they still have some potential issue. If it can be mitigated, NVIDIA is still changing the world. Thank you.
Any questions? I have one technology question, just see if you understand or not. I'm wondering if Intel and NVIDIA are complementars or competitors. Because you know, Intel produces CPUs that's for like processing regular tasks in computers, while NVIDIA is producing this kind of GPU that's kind of advancing the capabilities of your computers. So are these two companies kind of really competitors, or there are ways that they can cooperate?
I think first GPU and CPU is not really the same one. They are both improving the something, but they're focused on GPUs like more we can do on AI chips and data center. And if they are collaborate, I think if NVIDIA is designing their GPU and they can go to Intel and manufacturing to real chips.
Also, there is a question many people confuse that, for example, TSMC and NVIDIA, they can be a competitor or not, and our team answer is not, because TSMC is many manufacturer produce chip, but NVIDIA is design chip, and TSMC corporate. I mean, there are many partners, not only NVIDIA but also other companies. So their vision and mission of TSMC is to collaborate with partners. So if they break the rule, the loss when they break the rule is more than they themselves design the chip. So that means TSMC in the near future they will not compete with the NVIDIA. Maybe in the long future they can do, but it's maybe because of the government. They impose policy to TSMC to do design chip by themselves, for example. So in that case, they can be a competitor.
I think we still need CPU and GPU in our computer, so that's why NVIDIA is dominating and AMD is dominating now.
Okay. See. Any other? Go ahead, please.
Okay. Thank you for your presentation. I would like to ask about, you're talking about the future risk of NVIDIA. What do you think about the AI bubble theory? There is a potential that, because NVIDIA invests heavily in AI and they are the giant, they are the key player, the key leader of the AI accelerator right now. So what do you think about the solution, or NVIDIA have any plan for the future if the AI bubble can pop?
Okay, the first thing is our scope of presentation focus on three main risks. So we are aware that AI, the problem you mentioned is also, we aware, but because of the time limitation and scope, so we don't mention. But in our opinion, AI is also very important, and one of our solutions, the strategy that Kari or Tina mentioned, that we change more into AI and robotics, right? Yes, so about the strategy, also we think about it because GPU, our market share is quite really high. So we want to expand more. We have to try find new markets or new segments, business segments to continue growth. So we also can think about it. But of course, there are so many risks. So we will think other factors like market research people doing. It's not the 100% sure that they will win because they are now the biggest country in the world.
I think like AI bubble pop is like we cannot predict the really future thing. So a lot of people are talking about AI pop theories, but when we date back to 2000, we even don't have cell phone. But nowadays we have AI. AI can tell, AI can speak, and can do everything that human can do. So just move step by step, and we will see the future.